Hey guys, it's Lainey, and today is Wednesday, so you know what that is, it's Top 5 Wednesday. Sorry I missed last week. As most of you guys know, if you follow me on Twitter or on Instagram, you'll know that I just got a new job, so that's been taking up a lot of my time as I try to get trained in that position. So some of my videos have been taken on the back burner. I haven't filmed in so long. Today's Top 5 Wednesday topics are top 5 favorite graphic novels, and if you guys know me at all, you know that Homegirl does not read a lot of graphic novels, so my list is very, obviously there's only 5, but I feel like compared to other people's Top 5 Wednesday today, they're gonna have so many great undiscovered graphic novels, but I feel like mine are just a little generic because when it comes to graphic novels, I kind of read what everybody else is reading because it's not my favorite platform of reading. First, I'm shouting out one booktuber and one blogger. The blogger I'm shouting out today is Nick Rays from The Paper Dragon. He always tweets me every Wednesday his Top 5 Wednesday. I love when anybody tweets me their Top 5 Wednesday list, and I always watch or read what it is. But what's funny is that his taglines for his tweets are so funny, and if you follow me on Twitter and you see my retweets, you'll know what I'm talking about, or if you even just scroll through my Twitter, you'll see him pop up. Definitely wanted to give him a shout out because he's very dedicated to Top 5 Wednesday. And for the booktuber, I'm shouting out Jack from Reading with Jack. Jack's been a booktuber for so long. I remember him when I first started booktubing. I've been subscribed to him for so long, and he did a really great Top 5 Wednesday on the banned books for last week, so I definitely suggest you guys check him out, and both their information is going to be down below. So now we're on to my list, and my list is kind of split. You'll see. Coming in at number 5 is actually a graphic novel that I remember from my childhood, and I knew I had to include this one because when I always think of graphic novels, I always think of this one, and I feel like I need to rebuy them now because I don't remember that much about them. I just remember really loving the story, and that is Bone. It's kind of this fantasy graphic novel series, if I'm remembering correctly, and I was just so absorbed in it. How I stumbled on this graphic novel is because one of my mom's teacher co-workers, he was really into comic books, and all the comic books that he didn't want, he would give to me, so then I would have all these comic books when I was younger, all these single issues of like the most obscure comic book. I can't even name half of them anymore, and I remember the Bone graphic novels because there was a bunch of them, and like that's what I was reading, and I loved that. Now I'm really thinking I need to get these graphic novels because I really kind of want to reread them and see why for some reason, that name and that graphic novel has stuck with me for all these years. Coming in at number 4 is Sex Criminals by Chip Zdarsky and Matt Fraction, and this is a graphic novel I read back in July, so this is fairly new for me, but I feel like a lot of people on BookTube read it. That's one of the reasons why I got this graphic novel, because a lot of people were talking about it, and I kind of, when it comes to graphic novels, I go with the flow. And my favorite thing about this graphic novel is the main character. I think she's great. I love her, and I don't usually connect with graphic novel characters that much. I just, for some reason, there's always a disconnect for me. I can't relate to them. That's my number 1 favorite thing about this graphic novel series. Coming in at number 3 is a graphic novel I actually read for college, and that is Persepolis, and I forget who it's by, but I had to read it for my freshman rhetoric class. It's actually an autobiography, so the woman who wrote the graphic novel, she lived this. It's when she was a young girl growing up in Iran in the 1970s, and kind of how that shaped her in the history of Iran during that time, and I really, really liked it, and I flew through it because I loved the art, I loved the story, and I love history, so I loved learning about a different country like that in a fairly recent decade, even. Coming in at number 2 is Rat Queens by People. Again, it's like I always know the author of a book, but when it comes to the graphic novels, it's like I'm going into gray territory. But this one's by Curtis J. Weeb and Rock Upchurch. I read the first 2 volumes. Those are the first 2 volumes that are out right now, and I've read both of them. I really, really love them. I love the girls. They're so, so kick-ass, and I like that. Even though I want to know more about the story and about the history and the world, I really enjoy what we've gotten so far. This is one that Riley and Kayla recommended to me when I was at the Barnes & Noble one time. And coming in at number 1 is not a graphic novel. It's a manga. I was, like, honestly, I was obsessed with this anime show. Everybody knows what it is. It's Sailor Moon. So when I was younger, it always used to be on Cartoon Network at like 3:30 or 4, and I'd always have my Nana tape the episodes, and then I would watch them at the end of the week and like binge watch them. I was so obsessed with Sailor Moon. I had costumes, I had action figures, I had Barbies, I had notebooks and folders and pens and pencils, all of Sailor Moon. I don't know how I found out that is actually a comic book or a manga. I feel bad for my younger self because I read them out of order when I was younger. I cannot imagine doing that now. I'd be so confused, but my 7-year-old brain couldn't compute being confused. I watched the series out of order, I read the manga out of order, I had the single issues, I had the graphic novels, I had it all. That's why Sailor Moon is number one, because Sailor Moon will always hold a special place in my heart, and I can still sing the theme song, and I am not ashamed of that. So, that's it for my Top 5 Wednesday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys all have a really great Wednesday, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!